Right, I thought it might be useful to look at a real application of the analyzer, because the data that we were using in the videos was a little bit contrived. So here we have part of an interview with a retailer here in South Africa, and the research is concerned with their concern for the environment and their moves into the continent of Africa. What you're looking at right now is an interview that was particularly concerned with the environmental issues. So as we're working now, in the background there we've got the control panel. Could minimize that. As we're working, we're running a count of all of the coding that we've done. So do you see we have all of the coding items, the categories down there? Stuff like environment, operations, outcome, stakeholder, strategy. This is rich stuff, you know. And down the other end we've got, well, supplier stability, segmentation. Well, why are these things only been referenced once so far? Well, what we're actually doing now is building up our list of categories as we go. And of course a lot of research looks at an interview like this with a predetermined set of categories, because at the start of the research we think we know what we're looking for. Well, my personal view is research is always full of surprises, so you must always expect to pick up new categories on the way through, and perhaps we can make that happen. And you can see how the analyzer supports you. Okay, let's just look at the words now. Ed is our interviewer, and John is the respondent. And John is saying that marketing. He says, then we can also deal, this needs cleaning up, then we can also deal with things like packaging, and we had a target set. Let's just look at this now. Packaging is a key issue. If we're dealing with environmental issues, we want to make a denotatum. We want to show that this man talked about something called packaging, which we think of as a resource. And in our categories here, the ones that we've created already are available to you on the look ahead facility. So that's resources. If we come up with one that we haven't got before, well, let's just pick a few other words first. Target is already in the list. Reduce our packaging. Now here's reduce our packaging by 5%. What's going on here is they're setting themselves target again. Let's just call it a target. Do you see how we're making decisions on the fly about what the significance, what the denotation is of the words on the left hand side, so that we can put categories on the right? So here we are, 2,000 tons of plastic. Good gracious me. Let's say we want therefore to have something called limit. And I think if I do the tab now, the analyzer knows that we've never used that category before, and it says, do you want to edit the items in the list? Well, yes we do. You can either click there or press the tab key, and it brings up a form where we've got the option to enter the new category and make some notes about it. But one thing we probably want to do is make structure. So if we click here, it brings up some extra fields so that we can say, well, this is going to be included in Africanization. Oh, let's do includes. So Africanization includes the limit. In the notation we use in the analyzer, the high category is here. We're adding that in, and this is the low category that we've just created. So that's now available to us. If we do tab, see, there we are still, do tab, and it goes through, because we've just created limit. We need to take out, and we are well on our way to that. We are well on our way to that. That's an indication that they have achieved some performance. Okay, that's already in there. Do you see how easy this is? There are 700 or 800 tons, and we've got 2.5 years to go to reach our target. Let's put target in again now. Do we allow that we can have a category occurring twice in the same chunk? Oh yeah, why not? The fact that he mentions it twice in the one chunk is significant. If he mentioned it 15 times, it would be significant. And so I'm going to allow that we've actually got it 3 times. Do you see there? One there, and one there. But the association of target with these other things is important. Obviously expect a lot of the chunks to talk about target and performance at the same time. Performance means we're on our way to the target. limit is something else to do with performance in a way, isn't it? It's 2,000 tons. That's where they're trying to reduce their packaging to, and it's all about resources here. So these categories become associated with each other, and if they frequently come up together, then it's significant for your research. But let's just back off now. Let's go back to the query, the chart, the pivot chart. If I do F function key 5, it does the update. So it's updated the chart now with the new data. And environment is up to 20 times. Where's target? Here's target. Target's coming up a lot here, look. That's 11 times. And if we want to play with this pivot chart, just have a look. It's great to bring in, watch exactly what I'm doing here. Oh, it's off screen left there. If you go for the pivot chart tools, you get all this stuff. And if you then choose the property sheet, you get this property sheet here. And then if you do show hide, man, they don't make this easy, do they? Just check that field buttons drop zones and push that out of the way again. And here we now have some things that we can do. We can drop filter fields in there. So if we had categories into different types, we can certainly see all the categories here. Do you see? All the categories are here. So we can include and exclude. If we go for just the first 3, for example, the first 2, 3, there you are, it's giving us the count just for those 3 categories. If we want to go back to all, we just tick, and it comes back with all the categories. What's all this about? Oh, yuck. We could choose the different interviews here. Do you see if we'd got Department Store Manager 2 and Department Store Manager 3, we can select the ones that we want to analyze. And because this is a department store, we're looking at retailing. Perhaps there's a grocery store, perhaps there's a fashion store, and perhaps there are business partners that we've spoken to. Well, that is in fact the case here, and when this analysis is finished, later today, perhaps not, then we can start to do those sorts of things and look with that kind of precision at the data. So there are no filter fields up there at the moment. Play with these pivot charts. They're very, very powerful, and it's a fantastic way of getting immediate outputs for your thesis or for your academic articles. Really cool. Really cool. So we can go back, and I want those things off here now. So go play. Incidentally, you can change all of the axis titles and things like that. Access is both remarkable and sometimes very, very frustrating. Let's go back to our data entry now. So there you are. You've seen me put in 5 or 6 denotata, and you see how it works, and you begin to get a feeling for how you have to make instant judgment about what you're doing. But at the end of the day, you get a result. Okay, there we go again. Good luck with it all, guys. We may come back with more video later.